Good evening. This is Christy Walker along with John Highstrider here at IPFW, and we're going to go directly down the floor for the starting lineups, and we'll catch you up with the ones we've missed right after they go with IPFW here.
The head coach for the St. Joseph Pumas is Keith Freeman, and the assistant coach is Linda Deno. And now for your IPFW Lady Dons. A 5A freshman from Auburn, Indiana, number 14, Wendy Recker. A 5'9" senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 22, Dawn Dressler. A 5'9" sophomore from Decatur, Indiana, number 32, Lindy Jones. A 5'11" senior from Jeffersonville, Indiana, number 43, Pam Edwards. And a 6'1" sophomore from Harlan, Indiana, number 44, Jenny Newhard. The Lady Dons are coached by Eileen Kleinfelter, and the assistant coaches are Lisa Miller and Julie Brackenridge.
And that's the starting lineup for IPFW. We'll back up and catch up with St. Joe, number 11, Marion Pack, number 12, Stacy Shepard, number 30, Diane Polson, number 32, Tanya Popalea, and number 33, Kathy Peters. And that's your starting lineups for this evening. We're glad you could join us. And this ought to be an interesting matchup, John. This is always a good game between St. Joe and IPFW. They are always rivals, and there's always a good backing behind St. Joe. They bring a pretty good crowd, and we just were talking about that a crowd could be a part of a factor tonight, getting behind one of the two teams, and be interesting to see what happens.
Yes, right now the IPFW women's team is one game behind St. Joe in the GLB standings and in the overall record, so this is a very important game for both teams. Neither team really has much of a chance going on to the postseason, but there's a little bit of pride left here. All throughout the past 4 or 5 years, it's been a big rivalry between St. Joe and IPFW, and it's a very important game for both teams.
And the opening tip-off and control will go to IPFW. Lindy Jones scrambling for the basketball. Wendy Recker, a freshman, getting to start this evening's game for IPFW, and she's going to be taking over that point guard position as we lose one of the seniors for senior night tonight was Amy Perkins. And there's a basket by Pam Edwards starting out real nice and strong in the lane. It'll be interesting to see what St. Joe does. They're a quick team. A lot of times they'll play 4 guards. That basket by Diane Polson. And Eileen Kleinfelter prior to the game said it'd be interesting. They play the 4 guards, which will cause some problems for our post players, IPFW, and it'll be interesting to see if they're able to handle them this evening. Nice move inside. 3-point shot, no good, and Newhart almost with the rebound, unable to get it, but a bad pass there. Lindy Jones is going to take it coast to coast, and she puts it up and gets the fall. That was a real nice soft shot by Lindy Jones with 2 players for St. Joe. She could have easily pulled up and waited for the team, decided the shot was there.
Yeah, she's been the most consistent scorer for IPFW this year, averaging 16.4 points a game, and only for a sophomore. That gives Coach Kleinfelter a nice little nucleus there to build next year teams around. And today, after starting the younger record, the freshman record, there's a nice little nucleus coming back for them.
That's right. It was a nice slice to the basket, but there was traveling call, so IPFW gains possession, and they lead this game 18-15, 6-2 so far over St. Joe. Dish inside to Pam Edwards, up off the glass, good in it. She got a foul.
That's Pam Edwards' game. I've known her for 5 years now. And that's really her game on the low post. Nice power dribble into the bucket. You know, tonight is senior night, and I was a senior for this IPFW men's team last year. And you just get a little extra hyped up. You really do. You feel good, you know, and right when you first get out there, everything seems to be clicking for you. And a lot of times, senior nights, playing a team when they have a senior night is a tough time to play them because all the seniors are up.
That's right. There's a lot of emotion realizing that it's your last home game as well. That basket was good by number 12, Stacy Shepard. And the other seniors tonight are Michelle Conley, Dawn Dressler, Pam Edwards, Amy Perkins, and Kim Recker. So there's quite a crew out there that are going to be playing their last game on their home court. Wendy Recker from the key. That's a nice 10-foot shot. I tell you, IPFW coming out really strong here. Nice, easy shots, and everything seems to be falling for them so far. Turnaround shot up and no good.
Well, the Lady Dons have scored, 3 or 4 baskets in a row in the paint, so obviously St. Joe backed off. They're now into a zone, and it left Winnie Recker wide open for the jumper.
That's right, Pam Edwards in a lot of traffic. Basically, the ball just stripped from her by Diane Paulson. And that's unusual. Pam kind of found herself boxed, and I don't think she knew that second player was right there, but that's something you won't see too often.
No, you won't.
St. Joe moving the ball around well, trying to find an inside shot, but they will put it up from the outside. And Lindy's going to catch a foul, I believe, there as Stacy Shepard tried to take it into the lane. Lindy swiped it from the back, and they changed it. They gave the foul to, Lindy Jones. That'll be her first. And that's the team first. We'll go to the line here. 11-4 with 16:56 remaining. The first shot's no good. Obviously, there's a little bit more emotion right now in IPFW, and that could work to their advantage in the first half. And the second shot bounces around, doesn't fall. Pam Edwards with the rebound. Jenny Newhart looking around to find out. Wendy Recker with the ball. Nice shot. I'm not sure she was ready to take that. She put it up and it fell, and I'm sure she'll take the 2 points.
Seems when she went for that power dribble, it kind of slipped out of her hands, so she just pushed it up a little bit. And you're just talking about emotion. Hey, that helps out a little bit too. Her sister Kim is a senior, so as a freshman, she's got to be happy for her sister. And those types of things happen. Hey, there's not really much. There's not much of a way to stop that type of a shot.
No, there's not, because if it's going to go, it is. There's not a whole lot to do. Jenny Newhart with the turnaround, and she got bumped a little bit. Kind of off balance, threw her shot off balance, but St. Joe was able to come down with the rebound on that, and they're going to see if they can start anything on their offense.
Well, as you see here in the first 5 minutes of play or so, there's a lot of physical contact. The rivalry is still here, even though there's not much in the postseason. The rivalry is still here, and hey, those girls are going at it.
That's right. I think they're going to catch Pam Edwards on that one. And that'll be her first, and unfortunately, that's who Michelle was coming in for. But Pam's going to get a foul before she goes to the bench. That's only her first foul, though. This team's second. They're going to go to the line. A couple other substitutions coming in with 14, Mindy Metzger for St. Joe. And also coming in number 34, Sandra Green for St. Joe. Front shot of Tanya Popella, and she gets the second one to fall. IPFW will take the ball out of bounds. A little bit of a pressure by St. Joe. It's the first we've seen so far this game, and IPFW doesn't have much trouble handling that.
Well, like what Coach Kleinfeld was talking about, them starting 4 guards, that is their advantage, is the quickness. So they ought to utilize the press and try to get a turnover.
Jenny Newhart tying up the ball. Alternate possession will give it over to the Lady Pumas. Nice move by Jenny. She couldn't quite get her hands on it on the rebound, but enough to tie it up. And with the alternate possession, though, St. Joe maintains possession. If the give and go, the shot's no good. Mindy Metzger threw it up from the outside. IPFW will get it down the floor. So far, everything has worked pretty well offensively for them. They keep looking to go inside, and hopefully Lindy can get hot from the outside. She played very well in the last game when they beat Lewis. Record from the outside, and that's a nice soft push. She has a nice touch this evening.
Yeah, she does. She just set herself up there, so whenever the IPFW guard would just penetrate, Winnie would just set herself up, so when the pass comes back out there, she's ready to shoot the ball right then and there.
Lindy Jones with a lot of emotion there, got her hands on the ball and put it out of bounds. We got another substitution coming in for IPFW, number 30, Teresa Shriver. Also coming in is 31, Aaron Smith for St. Joe. So we've seen quite a few players so far, and I think you're going to have to see that with the physical play that's taking place.
Yeah, sure. When you're in there banging in there, it does take a lot out of you. And then at the high pace in which the game is going, it does wear you out some.
That's right. Kim Recker just entered, so we have the sisters are out on the floor. And easy shot up, and she gets the bounce, and that was Sandra Green just entering the game and gets a basket right away for St. Joe. Lindy's going to take it down the floor all by herself. 3-on-2, and Lindy lost control of the basketball. And she's going to turn around. That's a frustration foul.
This sure is. She knows that, she got bumped a little bit, but it wasn't quite a foul when she went for the shot. And then when she had the opportunity to come back for that steal, she was a little upset that there wasn't a call, so she was going to try to get it back. And those are the situations that you'd rather not see the foul, because Lindy is such a consistent player. You want to keep her out on the floor rather than her being on the bench with foul trouble.
That's right. That's her second foul, and so that cost her some playing time right now. She needs to sit on the bench. Coach doesn't want to get her into any more foul trouble. At least there's still 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Pumas moving the ball quickly. IPFW really staying tight on their defense and forcing that. And there's the turnover. Dawn Dressel's going to give it over to Recker, and she'll set up the offense. Dawn Dressel looking to get inside to Michelle Conley, but there's no one open underneath right now. Dressler back out to Recker into Conley, and Conley was all covered up. Shot clock, they need to take it. That's a last-minute shot there by Kim Recker.
That's almost a little bit out of Kim Recker's range. She's mostly inside post gaming, but hey, with this 1 second left in the shot clock and it's senior night, hey, you're going to throw up a nice little turnaround jumper from about 15 feet. On that type of night, hey, those shots are going to go in for you.
That's right, the Lady Pumas trail right now by 9, 17-8. We said earlier now there's 13 minutes remaining here in the first half, and they're looking to get something to go offensively. Trying another three-pointer, no good. Called off the hands of a Lady Puma, so it'll be out of bounds to the Lady Dons. Wendy Recker getting a little bit of information by Coach Kleinfelder as she gets the ball down the floor. Must be something she seeing that they're not doing right, and obviously their post players weren't open. Now they were that time, and Kim Recker with that's more her shot. Nice easy layup off the glass.
It was a nice pass. Kim did a really excellent job moving without the ball. Saw where the opening was, and it was a nice feed.
That must have been what Coach Kleinfelder saw, set up a different offense, give them a chance to open up. We got a traveling there.
Well, I think for most of the night, IPFW is going to have a definite size advantage. And since St. Joe, like what Coach Kleinfelder said before the game, normally goes with 4 guards, hey, you got to take advantage of the situation that you have. And since IPFW has been scoring early from the inside, hey, might as well stay with it.
Nice outside jump shot by Dawn Dressler. It's nice to see everybody with hot hands tonight. Lady Pumas trying to get something turned on as they haven't scored here. I believe it's been a couple minutes before they've gotten a basket. And they really need to get going, not let IPFW run away with this. Nice inside shot, but no good. It was going to be a traveling call, and I think we thought we were going to see a foul there, but much to the dismay of the Puma, it was a traveling, and IPFW gets it. And there's Amy Perkins. That's one of the seniors tonight, and her and Wendy Recker pretty much alternate.
Yeah, I'm sure that you're going to see a lot of the seniors get a little more extra playing time than they normally do, since it is the last game.
Amy, not one of the higher scorers on the team, but that is not one of the things she does do. She's going to end up leaving right now. She's number 7 on the assist list. So that was only a 2-point shot, not a 3. That was Mindy Metzger. We'll get back to what we were saying, that that's one of Perkins' best assets, and it has been on this team, is her assists. and she sees that open person and gets the ball to him. Michelle Conley a little bit out of her post as well. St. Joe still trying to get something going. Offensively, 25-10, IPFW, and there's another turnover. And we'll have to wait and see at halftime statistics what we have there. They've had some difficulty with their passing so far in this first half. Michelle Conley, there was the height differential, finding Shriver wide open.
Yeah, that was a nice feed by Michelle. She saw 3 St. Joe girls picked her up. And number 30 on for the ladies team, she just cut to the hole, and hey, look what she has, a wide open layup.
That's right, nice eyes by Amy Perkins. Lady Puma basically stumbled over her own feet, lost the ball. Amy picked it up and brought it down the floor. Held up for the rest of the team, and we have a foul. Got a lot of substitutions here. Edwards coming back in, Jenny Newhart and Wendy Recker. Coming back out are Kim Recker and Michelle Conley. We got a timeout for St. Joe. I think he just finally figures it's time to sit down. Their head coach, Keith Freeman. It's 10:08 remaining, and it's 27-10. This College Cable Access sports presentation is underwritten in part by a grant from Cable Access Incorporated of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And we're glad you could tune in and join us for this evening's game, especially being a senior night tonight. Taking a look there at the IPFW bench. Eileen can't have too much to say so far. I think things have been going pretty well for IPFW offensively and defensively. She was a little concerned with that guard offense that St. Joe comes out with, in that can their defense get back on time. Sometimes they've been a little bit sluggish this year, and she wanted to make sure they could get back, and so far I think they've been very effective.
Yes, Eileen's got to be very happy right now, after there's 10 minutes and 8 seconds left in the half, and they've scored 27 points. That's on a pace of breaking 100. And St. Joe girls has only scored 10. So right now, Coach Kleinfeld is telling the girls, hey, look out for St. Joe. They're going to get, they're going to tie up the shoes a little tighter. They're going to start getting after it a little bit more, because they know that St. Joe isn't really in sync right now, but you got to look out for them. They've won 17 games on the year, and they could very much be in.
That's right. IPFW's pretty much had a hot streak going, and we can expect St. Joe, I'm sure, to get hitting at any time, and hopefully you even it out both ways, but that doesn't always happen. Jenny Newhart Pam Edwards looking to go inside, and she's going to take it one-on-one. Nice touch off the glass. Pam's good at looking inside and finding that open shot. Easy jump shot missed by Mindy LaFoon. IPFW with, again, a chance to stretch this lead out even a little bit more. Pam Edwards looking to take it one-on-one again. This time not quite there, but Shriver's there for the rebound, and she's going to get 2 more points tonight.
Everything seems to be clicking for the Lady Dons right now, and especially on the defensive end. They're really getting after the St. Joe players. They're getting out, they're picking them up. They're not letting St. Joe get anything easy. That's really what decided the game right now. IPFW is getting easy inside shots. St. Joe just get one shot, and they're done.
That's right, 31-10. And that's a good sign for IPFW, seeing that kind of play out of Shriver and Wendy Recker. They're going to be back here for a few more years, and to get to play with the seniors and play as well as they are. Jenny Newhart with a couple of good rebounds and a double dribble as she tried to gain control of the basketball. Yeah,
one thing that the Lady Dons will be losing is a lot of post position work there. Jenny Newhart will be coming back, which gives the Lady Dons an experienced post. Shriver's back. Edwards at the point. She is coming back, and Recker at the point. Wendy Recker at the point. She's played a lot of games this year. And you got Lindy Jones, who's been in foul trouble since the 15-minute mark. Right. She's the leading scorer at 16-4 a game, and she's come back. So Lady Dons have a very bright future ahead of them.
That's right. Second shot chance there, but we got a foul, and I think Jenny Newhart's going to get that one.
See, she smiled a little bit because she knew that there was a there was a small St. Joe player who had the ball, and Jenny really couldn't do much because the St. Joe player had the ball inside. As you saw, the only thing Jenny could do is try to knock it out, and she got called for foul.
That's right. Good chance you can always get called for catching the arm on that one. That's one that you got to be very careful on. You're swatting at the ball, and most of the officials are going to call you.
Yeah, and when the player inside is a little bit smaller than you and there's a definite size disadvantage, the referee seemed to be looking a little bit more than for a foul.
Don Dressler re-enters the lineup. That's just going to be out of bounds. That was not a shooting foul. St. Joe's very quick. That might be something you see more out of IPFW in the future. Right now, the last couple years, they've had that post game. They've had those tall players, and got some very skilled players from the outside that'll be the key group coming back. And I'm sure Eileen will find a couple players to play that post position, but they may look for a more outside game than going inside to Pam Edwards or to Michelle Conley.
That's correct.
Dressel looking into Edwards. Edwards turns around and shoots.
Pam may have got away with a walk there. It looked like she took a big, about 4-foot hop. But, when she's playing as well she is and going as quick as she is, a lot of times that's not seen and that's not called. That was a great move. Nice shot.
Shot bounced around inside. No one there really to rebound, and that's a missed shot by Kathy Peters, and Pam Edwards ends up with the basketball. I tell you, you don't want to be too near her if she rebounds. She comes down with those elbows.
She's number 2 in the IPFW rebounding career list, and she's done an excellent job in her 4 years. She has she lets a little yelp as she rebounds, but that kind of intimidates any defensive person around her. That hey, she's got this rebound. Nobody's gonna take it away from her.
That's right. Well, she's learned that intimidation factor well. It's worked for her quite a bit, and that was a basket by Kathy Peters. Going inside to Kim Recker, up and no good off the glass, but that's going to be a shooting foul, so Kim's going to go to the stripe. And the foul's on number 32, Tanya Popole, and we're going to see that. Right there, just basically caught her on the arm.
It's pretty hard for a defensive play when you let the offensive player have the inside position there. It's real tough to come back and block that shot because they do have the inside position, and the referee sitting on the baseline clearly saw the foul. Another thing that IPFW has done is taking the St. Joe crowd out of the game. St. Joe always brings a very loud crowd, a very boisterous crowd, and a lot of times during close games, they get really determined, with the loudness. And IPFW's done such a good job, they just taking the crowd out of it.
That's right. I've almost forgot how big of a crowd sitting right down in front of us. I've been to many games where they are just overbearing. You almost can't hear, and so far today, I haven't even recognized that they've been there. The official's quick to get in there and call a jump ball on that, as there's about 4 players with their hands on the ball, and someone was probably going to get hurt pulling it away. Alternate possession goes to IPFW, and Michelle Conley's coming back in. She's going to give Pam a little bit of a break. Also coming in for the Lady Pumas is number 15, Lori Hissong. Lori's a local player, came out of Harlan. Right here, a name that many people, I'm sure, remember. Dawn Dressler finds Michelle Conley wide open. And this time Michelle didn't have as much luck outside. That looks normally more like her shot when she's away from the post or down low there, and she didn't get that one to fall, and then we had a foul. I'm going to take a look at that foul. There's the shot, and I believe the foul is right there on the rebound. It's Teresa Shriver. That was only her first foul. And a no shot, and good rebound by Perkins. IPFW fans a little bit upset, saying that the Lady Puma was riding her down the court. Nice shot by Kim Recker.
Nice little left hand. Kim looked to her right and saw that she was covered. Took the drop step and saw that the only shot, the way that she could get a shot off was with the left hand.
Another
was a
steal
nice
by IPFW and an assist, and Dawn Dressel's not going to get it to fall, but that's what Amy Perkins is good at, dishing it off, and she'd much rather dish that off than take the shot herself, and she's a big asset to the team in that way. We're going to take a look here at that, and I think that was the foul.
Here with 5:41 left in the first half, St. Joe's has only scored 12 points, and they're averaging 72 points a game. So you can see that right now, St. Joe in the normal sake of playing basketball. They're not shooting the ball very well. Excuse me. And when they do take a shot, hey, they're not getting any tops or rebounds in there. So
That's right. IPFW's had many second and third shot attempts. If they haven't made it the first time, and St. Joe pretty much is being boxed out underneath the basket, and they're getting one shot at the basket. If it doesn't go, IPFW gains possession. And almost a takeaway by Shriver, and as the ball's being popped around, they're going to call it red ball, so it'll stay St. Joe's. IPFW with their hands on the ball every time they're reaching for that rebound, and that's what's kept St. Joe to such a low score early here in this first half. And there was a hand on that ball to cause that shot to be missed, and Amy Perkins, I'm going to call it jump ball. And alternate possession goes back to St. Joe. And we've got another timeout.
Last 34 shots that St. Joe has taken have been really off-balance shots and not really the best shot that St. Joe is looking for. I'm sure the coach is really going to get on, but hey, let's take some good shots.
That's right. The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming, including IPFW Sports Telecast. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805, or call us at 481-6000. And that's if you want to know what's going on Channel 6, call them. You get a free guide in the mail, and it'll let you know everything that you can watch right here on Channel 6. There's a few fans walking. We've got a band here on all of our breaks this evening, or partial band, I guess I should say. 5:13 here remaining in the first half, 37-12. I'm sure St. Joe wanted to try to sit their players down one more time and talk to them, try to get something going instead of going in to the halftime with such a great deficit.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for St. Joe now to really come back and get some type of momentum coming. Right now they're down 25 points deficit, which they're not really used to since they're winning by about 6 points a game. They want to get something going here, so when they go into halftime, they feel pretty good about themselves, about the hopes for the comeback.
A little bit of momentum going their way will bring their spirits up a little bit, probably, and coming back out the second half. And right now, IPFW, though, sticking tough on their defense, getting a hand on that ball. And
yes, Chrissy, you was talking earlier how IPFW was getting all their hands on the balls. As you saw right there, they're just anticipating where the pass is going to go, and they've deflected a lot of the passes.
That's right. Lori Hissong, we haven't seen much of her this game. Lori's a junior for St. Joe, and I'm sure pretty active for them normally, and she hasn't been very active so far. And IPFW will want to watch out for her. Teresa Shriver with a nice turnaround shot.
Lady Dons are just getting a lot of open shots, and they're really that good of a shooting team. Especially when you're open for the inside shots like that. St. Joe really ended up doing a very good job defensively of getting on those players and getting on those shooters. They're just sitting back waiting for the rebound.
That's right, almost wholesale substitution for IPFW. You're going to see a whole new crew out there. Like we said, the game, though, even though St. Joe isn't really in there and causing a lot of trouble for IPFW, there still is a lot of pounding and bumping. And one thing Eileen Kleinfeld has been good at, though, is you will see a lot of players during any game playing for them, and that's going to help them down the road.
Yeah, she really just wants her players to really go as hard as they can, and when they need a breath, when they're tired, they need a little sub, hey, ask the coach, and the coach will bring somebody in, and then once the rest is back up, they'll just sub back through. It gives everybody a lot of time, and everybody knows what they have to do. They have to go in and play as hard as they can.
Jenny Newhart with a missed shot, and down at the other end, once again, Lori Hissong hit that basket for them, and they're going to give it back to her and see if they can't get her rolling. She goes to the far side, and nice move by Dressler. Got a hand on the basketball. Made that shot very ineffective by Diane Polson.
It was a nice block, and Pam looked up and was like, hey, what's falling out of the sky? And here came the basketball. Kind of surprised a little bit. She got a nice little laugh out of that.
Dressler dishes it into Edwards, and turnaround jumper no good. Rebounded the Lady Pumas, and Lindy Jones all over the basketball. Pam got a hand on that ball, and IPFW gets another steal.
Seems to be every loose ball out there ends up in the hands of an IPFW Lady Don. And they're doing an excellent job of getting after the loose balls.
That's right, Dawn Dressler looked to go inside, but at that time St. Joe shut it off at the paint. Lindy Jones, turnaround jumper, and good.
She reminds me a little bit of Lisa Miller of the years past. Lisa Miller, the leading scorer at IPFW. She's a sophomore, and and she's scoring very well, and a lot of her moves look like Lisa Miller. But it may help also when Lisa Miller is the assistant coach. I'm sure Lisa works with Lindy a little bit at practice, bounce some moves for her to get better shots.
Yep, Tanya Popiella got that basket for St. Joe. That's right, Lindy. If you remember Lisa Miller, she was going to shoot wherever she was on the floor. It could have been from the outside or the inside, and Lindy's really working hard on her inside shot. She definitely will put it up from the outside, and I think if she can learn to take it, if she sees the open lane, she's going to be unstoppable in a couple more years. And she drives the paint right there. A little bit soft on her shot, but Pam Edwards picks up the basketball and puts it back in for two. And we have a 43-16 lead here with 2:13 remaining in the first half. So far, you wouldn't know that St. Joe is a game ahead of IPFW in the rankings the way they're playing this evening.
They win. IPFW is just playing a really perfect basketball now. They're rebounding well, they're passing well, they're not throwing the ball away. They're making their outside shots, they're making inside shots, they're hustling, everything just going right for them.
That's right. Coming into the lineup was Barb Derry, another freshman for IPFW. So I think as this lead pulls away here, Eileen's going to allow some of her freshmen to come in because I'm sure she's going to let her seniors wrap up this ball game this evening, and she wants to get her freshmen some playing time while she can.
It gives the freshmen a little bit to think about during the offseason. I just got in. The last game I just got in, and you really do feel pretty good after the last game. So during the offseason, when you work out and try to improve, you have a nice little feeling there.
St. Joe players standing, trying to get a little bit of momentum going for their team, and there's a steal. And we're going to see Lindy Jones flying down the floor and doing a good job with screaming and not allowing that layup, but St. Joe moves the ball around effectively, and Tanya Popella, I'm sorry, I'm going to pronounce her name wrong, I'm sure a couple more times this evening, but gets that rebound shot. And it's a 43-20 lead for IPFW. 1:05 remaining, and now Eileen Kleinfelder wants a timeout here. I'm sure like we talked about earlier, she doesn't want to allow them to get into this ball game at all.
Tune in to Channel 6 Friday evening at 8 o'clock to see NCAA volleyball action as the 49ers from Long Beach State University meet the IPFW Volleydons. Catch all the action of IPFW volleyball right here on Channel 6.
And that's definitely something if you have a free night to tune into. IPFW has a very talented men's volleyball team here. They're ranked nationally, and they're very fun to watch. And if you can't get out here to support IPFW, it's always there at Channel 6. You can tune us in
exciting.
And watch. But IPFW has a great program out here in all their programs, women's basketball, men's basketball, and the volleyball teams. And if you ever have a free evening and you haven't been out, come on out and watch and support a local college like this. They've ranked nationally in volleyball. That really has a good name for IPFW. We're well known across the country. And that's not, that's saying a lot for a school, commuting school as it is.
Really, there's a lot of the community thinks that, IPFW is a small college and think, well, just small college sports isn't that exciting. Come on out and take a look. There's a lot of very competitive teams out here, and, really give you a run for your money.
That's right. There's a lot of local players who played from the area, and names that you will remember. Jenny Newhart with a nice touch off the glass.
Yeah, I think Coach Kleinfer, during that timeout told her teams, hey, let's not let the girls, the St. Joe girls, go in with some momentum, thinking that they have a chance to get back in this thing. We played well in the first half. We had about a 2-minute spurt, which we had a couple turnovers. Let's come back out and let's finish the half on a strong note. Let's try to, increase the 25-point lead. Let's try to, do some other things.
That's right. You just took a look at the foul there. It was on Pam Edwards, and they pretty much didn't get back on their defense in time. Pam tried to step in front of Stacy Shepard. Was unable to get there in time, and Pam was charged with the blocking foul. So you don't want to let them get any momentum going here. There's only 41 seconds left. You've got a 24-point lead in the first half, and you don't want to let them think that they can come back out and get into this game. And that shot no good by Kathy Peters. IPFW once again with another rebound, and I'm sure we're going to see some real good statistics here after the half on IPFW's rebounding offensively and defensively.
They really controlled the boards.
And there's going to be a foul on the other end as Wendy Recker tried to take it to the basket. Was a non-shooting foul, though. IPFW would take it out of bounds. Lindy Jones looking to go inside. And the shot would have counted, but it didn't go. Another foul on St. Joe. This time it's going to be on Stacy Shepard. We'll take another look at that. Lindy drives down. Stacy just gets an arm.
You just saw that looks a little bit like the remnants of Lisa Miller. She'd always drive a little bit left, and with that reverse dribble, cut back to the right-hand side of the lane. It was a nice move.
That's a 16 foul on St. Joe. IPFW's ball out of bounds. Kim Recker with the turnaround, no good, and St. Joe has the rebound. I think Jenny Newhart just found herself in the wrong place there. She really wasn't, reaching for the ball, but she got called for that foul, and they're going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, she should realize, with 15 seconds left, she really didn't have much chance of stealing that rebound, and the St. Joe player was pivoting and happened to pivot right into her, and Jenny got caught with the foul.
That's right, the team's 7th foul. That puts St. Joe to the line. But IPFW with another rebound.
I don't know how many times we've said that this evening.
I think you're going to hear it a lot, too, hopefully in the second half as they maintain this type of intensity that they've been playing with in the first half. And we got a charge.
Looks like Kim Recker just, when she was driving that, she did lower her shoulder just a little bit enough to where the St. Joe player was in position. And it was a correct call from our referee on the baseline.
That's right. Eileen Kleinfelder is putting the pressure on here. They do not want to allow a shot with only 2 seconds left. And there isn't one as the clock goes off. And it's 45-21. IPFW leads this going into the first half. And that's a real good score to go in with. That should give the team a lot of positive things to talk about, but the one thing is with this kind of a lead, they got to be real careful. They got to come back out with that same type of enthusiasm. It's real easy to come out and say we've got a 24-point lead and let things get away from you and let St. Joe back into this game.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Kleinfer is going to be telling them, hey girls, let's come back out and play as hard as we did at the beginning of the game of the first half. Let's not let St. Joe have anything at all. Let's just really stay with them and increase the lead. Have fun, let the freshmen get in, and then let the seniors finish it off.
That's right, and we'll see you right back here after this short program. We hope you come back because this game isn't over yet, and it's right now 45-21 IPFW.
by salary. Triple value.
I've really enjoyed it.
Quality education.
Courses are challenging.
There's really a good quality work here.
The campus in the fall, I think, is really nice. It's a nice place to sit out and relax, maybe during a lunch hour or any time after classes. There's a lot here that IPFW has to offer.
The professors really concentrate on helping you. They've enabled me to grow professionally.
If you're going to go in Indiana, this would be the place to go, and people just don't realize that because they think it's hometown.
Many of the professors here at IPFW have gained both national and international recognition through their teachings.
I know a lot of people say that if you go to a small campus that you won't be able to find a good job, but I've been interviewed with General Motors and they chose myself and another girl from IPFW, and that gives me great confidence in this school.
Yes.
Welcome to the weather report. Skies are going to be clear. The temps are going to be nice. Let's take a look at tomorrow. We can see how the system moves.
We are very fortunate at IPFW to have a music therapy program. We have a career service area that finds employment for students, sometimes career-related while they're in school and after they graduate and after they become alumni. We have multicultural services, special Services for African-American students, for Hispanic students. We have a Women and Returning Adult Center for our large returning adult student population.
So basically, I know everybody in this lounge that could say Chinese, Japanese, Korean.
The Office of Multicultural Services provides personal counseling, academic counseling, and also cultural heritage programs primarily geared for African American students and Hispanic students, and also any other student on the IPFW campus who would like to take advantage of our services.
We have given over 26,000 degrees, and our alumni are literally all over the world in successful and important positions in business, industry.
Oh, good question. For example, these two go together.
Now think about that argument, especially from our perspective today with our concern with the environment. Which is better?
We had some kind of patent infringement case. We thought somebody was infringing upon our patent.
Temperature stagnation, temperature corresponding to triple value, you could determine the stagnation properties. In other words, what you are going to do, you are going to pretend that you decelerated the flow from whatever it was to this point.
I never gave you art.
My honored lord.
Just take it in like this.
How do I care for this child? And that transition from what's taught in the classroom to what is actual reality of putting it into practice and the hands-on doing procedures.
Okay, how would I decide now, for example, how big a drop of water was?
The way it was conducted in the district court, they said, was a summary judgment. It left two unresolved issues of fact. What were those? Somebody tell me. The honors program offers courses for talented and motivated students who graduate in the upper 10% of their high school classes and have above average SAT scores. These are small enrollment classes taught by selected faculty members.
I had a favorite professor that was very knowledgeable. I know he knew a lot about his field, and it really helped me to understand through personal stories he had.
We try to know as many students as we possibly can by their first name and really develop long-term relationships over the 4 years that they are here and even beyond.
A student that would be interested in attending IPFW would have a full range of companies to consider at the time of graduation.
Yeah, I just accepted a job in Denver, Colorado with one of the largest Big Six firms, a public accounting firm.
Recent recruiters here include IBM, Xerox.
The professors here really helped me through my interview process. I knew I wanted to relocate.
Not only the local companies are involved in recruiting the students, but companies throughout the United States.
Helped me land one of the most desired jobs in America.
I myself and many people I know also work while going to school.
Over 90% of our students are employed.
Although I live outside of Fort Wayne, it's still real close and convenient for me to come to school and then directly to work. It only takes me about approximately 15 minutes.
We also have co-op, and the co-op program is an alternating program whereby the student goes to school for a semester and then works for a semester. But the marvelous thing about it is that you are 80% guaranteed of employment upon graduation.
The Financial Aid Office assists students and their families in securing financial assistance to attend college. Financial aid is available in the form of grants, scholarships, educational loans, and employment.
I've been undecided about my major for a while now, but they really helped me a lot. Helped me to discover new careers and check into them, get ideas on them. I really appreciate that. They've really done a lot for me in that aspect.
I think IPFW is an exciting place to be. And it's exciting because we have such a wide variety of students. I think we have appeal for many students. We offer a quality education. Our student body ranges in age from 13 to 82. And we can offer quality and variety. The possibilities are endless. The opportunities are here for you. Won't you come and look at the opportunities and explore the possibilities and become a part of Indiana Purdue at Fort Wayne?
Baseball is getting better, or traffic is getting worse. How do you know about stock market trends, the risk of cholesterol, the history of witchcraft, or the future of spacecraft? With statistics, that's how. And how can you find out about statistics? With the new Statistics series, Against All Odds.
Children are the largest group of Americans living below the poverty line. They have to reach higher for what others take for granted. Health care, balanced meals, encouragement to learn. But with help early on, children in your community can gain the skills to get out from below the poverty line. It takes programs like Success by Six and people like you to help them take the first step. Call to learn more. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
There is a need in your own hometown. Please join your local chapter.
For over 2 millennia, Western society has generated a rich visual tradition of painting, sculpture, and architecture. What do these images mean? How can we understand them? Art of the Western World will take you on an exciting journey that will suggest answers to these and other questions. Beginning in ancient Greece and ending on the brink of the future, it will examine many of mankind's most enduring artistic achievements.
Vince, that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Mental illness. We fear it. We laugh at it. We scorn it. We think it's shameful. But these are misunderstandings. Misunderstandings that will fade away if we see mental illness for what it really is. A medical disease. A disease that can be treated if you just know where to turn. For an informative booklet, call the American Mental Health Fund.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you help us? I'm sorry, Sir, please help our brother. Ma'am, we need some blood for our brother. Please.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Sir? Please, ma'am.
Oh, not now, baby.
Our brother really needs blood. Can you help us?
Imagine if you had to ask for blood to save the life of someone you love. Next time the American Red Cross asks, give blood, please.
A lot of my friends have already retired. But I wasn't ready for that. So I'm still teaching. This time in Belize, Central America. I decided to join the Peace Corps. I love my kids. And the way I figure it, I have the rest of my life to play cards.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
And welcome back to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. I'm Christy Walker along with John Strider, and we're calling all the action here in tonight's game against IPFW and the Lady Pumas of St. Joe. Right now it hasn't been much of a game so far in the first half. IPFW leads the Lady Pumas 45-21. Pumas only shooting 29% from the field. IPFW shooting about 68. That's been a big difference so far. And the other big difference we were just talking about, John, is IPFW has 17 assists in the first half.
Yes, IPFW has gotten 21 field goals off of the 17 assists, which that shows that IPFW is really moving the ball. They're really getting, they're really hitting the girls that are wide open, for nice shots. That's really nice to see.
That's right. Some other statistics here. St. Joe's 9-31, IPFW 21-31 from the field. And that's your field goal percentages that we were just telling you about. 0 for 3 from St. Joe for the three-point and 0 for 1 for IPFW. And so no one's doing well from there from the free throw line. St. Joe's 3 for 7. And IPFW was shooting 3 for 5 from the free throw line. So IPFW came out with a lot of intensity. We'll see if they still have that here in the second half. It's senior night. It's an emotional evening. It's the last game for many players for IPFW. And we'll see what St. Joe also tried to change during halftime. Lindy Jones. And it'll be nice to get Lindy started early here in the second half to help out IPFW.
I think what Coach Kleinfeld really wants her girls to do is to come out and really bury St. Joe. Not disrespectfully enough, but just enough to where it gives the rest of the team a chance to get in. It lets the seniors close off their career with a strong victory, and it also lets the newcomers from next year have something to build off of.
That's right. Nice basket by number 32, Tanya Popiella. And Pam Edwards looking to go baseline, but she was shut off well, and I'm sure St. Joe talked about that a little bit, where to shut off and who to shut off under the basket, as IPFW was getting many second attempts at the basket in the first half. Nice drive by St. Joe's, numbers 12, Stacy Shepard, and she was fouled on the play. And this is a little bit more of the way I'm used to seeing St. Joe play basketball, and I'm sure that Eileen Kleinfelder wants to maintain her offensive end at least with the lead that they had. And we're going to take another look. They basically just took it all the way to the other end, drove, and the foul goes on number 14, Wendy Record, and that's only her first. So that's a three-point conversion there for St. Joe. Gets them going a little bit emotionally, offensively.
I'm sure St. Joe coach Keith Freeman, really talked to their girls about, hey, we are quicker, we're smaller, and we're better ball handlers than the IPFW girls are. Let's start going out and let's start getting up and down the court. Let's use our quickness. As you just saw, St. Joe just got a three-point play. And on that quickness right there, St. Joe drawed a foul off the IPFW dribbler.
That's right. I'm not sure I agree with that call, but we'll have to go with it since we're up here and they're wearing the stripes down the floor. Dawn Dressler was quite amused that she got that foul as well. And then another basket by number 12, Stacy Shepard. IPFW is going to have to watch out who they're going to have to get out on, get a hand in the face, and deny that shot attempt.
Well, Coach Freeman was probably telling the girls at the halftime talk has been helping on. St. Joe's coming out playing a lot harder defensively. They're really moving the ball. They're getting up and down. If they keep up the space, IPFW is going to have the handful in the second half. They got to play equally as hard.
That's right. Jenny Newhard made the last basket for IPFW, and they're going to try here to see what they can do. I'm sure you're going to have to watch out for number 12 as she's made the last couple baskets for St. Joe, and she drives the lane, shoots, and nice kiss off the glass. Stacy Shepard with a quick 6 points for the Lady Pumas. IPFW's lead cut to 19. Still a large lead for IPFW, but St. Joe is well into this ball game coming in the second half, and that lead can go away real quickly, especially when there's 17 minutes remaining. And Pam Edwards takes it inside and gets the foul. The foul's on number 33, Kathy Peters.
I think what the Lady Dons right now have to do is start getting the ball inside. That's what they're very successful in the first half of doing, is getting the ball inside and scoring on easy buckets. That's what I believe that they still really need to do.
That's right, Lindy Jones with a missed shot. IPFW not able to get the rebound. And nice feed for St. Joe, number 32, Tanya Popelia. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm sorry for her to chop up her last name, but it's one of those that I'm not familiar with from around this area. Pam Edwards with a nice drive, and she's fouled again. And Pam will take it to the basket. I'm going to take another look at that. As Pam takes it in, it's fouled by number 12, and that's her third foul. And that's tough for St. Joe. She's been the leading scorer here coming out of the second half. You don't want to get into foul trouble with as much time as there is remaining. She's going to have to watch it real close not to get that fourth foul here, or I'm sure that St. Joe will have to pull her. Pam Edwards missing both of those free throws, a little bit cold from the stripe. Jenny Newhard applying a little bit of pressure to the basketball, but Lady Puma is able to get it down the floor and set up their offense. They dish it inside, turnaround jumper, good by Tanya Popella.
Tanya's the St. Joe leading scorer at 11.5 per game. She didn't do. She won't get much scoring done there in the first half. So I'm sure that the coach is saying, "Hey, let's get the ball into her hands." She's a leading scorer. Let's let her get some shots off. Let's let her show us, lead us back in this comeback.
Pam Edwards with a lot of emotion on that shot, drives in the lane. Nice kiss off the glass and gets fouled once again. That's the third time down the floor for Pam getting fouled. And take another look at that as she just finds that little bit of opening. And as St. Joe closes in, they cause a foul. And as we were just talking about, that foul was on number 12. That is her fourth foul, and that's a tough break for St. Joe as she's come out and scored the first 6 points that St. Joe saw here in the second half and kind of got them a little, I'm sure, optimism into this basketball game, and now she has to sit on the bench.
Yeah, Pam did a pretty good job. This is the second time in a row that she drove to the basket. What she's doing is she's facing to the basket, seeing that there's no defensive help, and she's just driving and getting some fouls called.
That's right, and Pam's able to convert that into a 3-point. IPFW leads 52-34, 16 minutes here remaining in the second half of play. And so far, IPFW really pretty much being unstoppable, both offensively and defensively. And there's a missed shot and rebound by Pam Edwards. And that was something IPFW did very well in the first half. Their defensive rebounds, they had 16, and St. Joe only had 7. That was a crucial difference there in the first half. And so far, IPFW doing very well here in the second.
It sure was. As you notice, St. Joe shot 29% from the field in the first half, and they weren't getting any offensive rebound putbacks either. When IPFW had a 16 to, as you just said, 16 to 7 rebounding edge. St. Joe wasn't getting any easy putbacks. That's why it kept the percentage so low. Excuse me there.
It's all right. St. Joe looking around. IPFW doing a good job of shutting off the lane so far this evening. Shot no good by Kathy Peters, and IPFW with the rebound. Perkins was going to bring down the ball down the floor very quickly, but she was shut off by number 11, Marion Pack. And a shot outside by Dawn Dressler, and she gets her own rebound and is going to be fouled. Nice to follow your shot. A lot of times you don't see that. Shot's put up and the person drops off, and that paid off for Dawn as she was fouled, and that foul goes on number 11, Marianne Pack. And we're going to take another look. Shot was missed. Actually, it was tipped back out by Michelle Conley.
But for all you young viewers out there, you just saw Dawn Dresser do something that every shooter should do. After you take a shot, you should follow your shot, because sometimes that ball can right back at you, and if the defender does not block you out, it's an open rebound for you. That's just what Dawn just did.
That's right. So IPFW with a chance here to score again. St. Joe's playing a lot of hands-on defense right now. Shriver with a nice touch.
Yeah, St. Joe really has to come out and play some very physical and and just like what you said, hands-on defense, so they can get some steals from the Lady Dons if they want to get back in this game. Right now they're down 20.
That's right, and there's going to be a blocking foul on Michelle Conley. Well, that's something they weren't doing in the first half. They were playing off IPFW a little bit, and IPFW was playing very good transitional basketball. They could go inside or they were taking it out. They were running right around St. Joe, so I think St. Joe wanted to close things in a little bit, see if they couldn't keep a little bit more contact and try to figure out where things were going and try to slow down IPFW offensively. So far, it's still a 20-point lead for IPFW, but St. Joe, I'm sure, intends to try to close in that score a little bit, and they do with one right there from Tanya, and she's going to take a second shot. Another real familiar name there on the St. Joe team that we've been talking about a lot, that's the number 11, Marion Pack. She was a real big player for Marion High School. It's a name that I really remember as a standout in high school, and that's what you're going to see in this division. The GLVC conference has a lot of players that were really tough in high school, and they're playing in a college like IPFW or in a college like St. Joe, and that's why we say come out here and watch, because it is good quality basketball. It's not players that you haven't heard of and players that weren't very good in high school. It's some of your top key athletes are playing right here at this level.
It sure is. A lot of Division I major colleges go out of state to get the big name ball players, and all those that are left over, which are very good quality basketball, ends up going to the small schools such as IPFW and St. Joe, which in turn produces very hardcore basketball.
That's right, Amy Perkins showing you her skills of assist right there. She looks away, dishes it off to Michelle Conley, and in frustration, Michelle trying to get the rebound as she missed a really short, easy shot, and grabs the back of the arms, and so she gets her second foul. Both teams stand with 4 here in the second half with 14 minutes remaining. IPFW still with a 19-point lead.
Yeah, St. Joe's really come out this half and playing a lot harder right now. They've outscored the girls. The Lady Dons are now by 8 points here in the second half, and Coach Freeman must be pretty happy with that his girls are coming out playing harder offensively and defensively, and in turn, it's showing some dividends.
IPFW at least being able to maintain their intensity on offense, so with St. Joe coming out and scoring, IPFW hasn't shut down. A shot by Perkins, and that's one of the few that you won't see from her. She only averages 1.2 points per ball game and 1.4 rebounds like we were talking about. She's number 7 on the all-time assist list here at IPFW, and that's her forte. But she was inside, thought she could take the shot, and then we ended up getting a foul by number 54, Kim Recker, and that was her second. So IPFW loses control of the basketball this time down. I'm sure St. Joe wants to continue to plug away at that lead and see if they can't get themselves back into this ball game. They're definitely looking to go inside. Post players have a job to do. With the give and go and turn around, no good. And Lindy with a nice rebound. St. Joe just found themselves in the wrong place. That foul right there on number 34, Sonia Green.
As you see St. Joe going to a full court press, they've cut the 25-point halftime lead down to 17, and most of the second half, St. Joe has been pressing. So I'm going to stick with something that's very beneficial to them, and hope to get some defensive stops.
That's right. St. Joe's gone to a man-to-man defense, and IPFW not having too many problems. Dawn Dressler with a miss there, but Pam Edwards with the rebound and a miss, and Lindy goes up and is going to get called for a foul. Tough break there for IPFW. They had 2 shots right underneath the basket, unable to get either one of them to go. There was the first. Pam decides to go drop underneath, and her shot also didn't go, and Lindy Jones picks up the foul, and that was her 3rd foul.
Well, it seems to in the first half there's only 13 fouls called. Now, with 12:30 left to go in the game, there's already been 11 called this half. The referees looks like the referees are trying to clean this up a little bit, not let it be so as physical as it was in the first half.
That's right. Turn right around with another foul. And that foul goes on the Lady Pumas, number 15, Lori Hissong, her first foul. And once again, we're going to see the press by St. Joe. They're going to try to force some turnovers for IPFW, not allow them to bring the ball down the court freely. Teresa Shriver comes back in for IPFW. Lindy Jones, as you see, takes a trip along the line on the bench. Dawn Dressler, not one to bring the ball down the court, dribbling, looking for her point guard, and there she is, Wendy Recker. That's what those people are for. They're the ball control people. They can dribble very well, especially against a press. And you'll see Amy Perkins handles the ball very well as Wendy Recker does, and you'd like to see that ball in their hands. Beautiful dish by Dawn Dressler down to Pam Edwards under the basket.
That's what the Lady Dons have been doing most of the game. In the first half, they had 21 field goals, 17 assists. They're doing an excellent job of finding the open girl and dishing the ball and letting her score.
That's right. Any team can pretty much win a ball game if you be willing to dish it off to that open person that is out there underneath the basket or outside, and IPFW did that very well in the first half and intend to do that here in the second half. Dawn Dressler with a missed shot, and we got a push, and it's going to be on number 14, Mindy Metzger, and that is only her first foul, and we're in a 1-and-1 right now as that's the team's 7th foul, and so like we were talking about, we didn't see the bonus in the first half.
And from here, with 11:27 to go in the game, we're going to be seeing free throws on every foul. So.
Wendy puts it up and hits the first one.
Wendy had an outstanding career at DeKalb High School. She played up there for 4 years. It's real nice coming to such a high caliber of basketball and only living 20 minutes away.
That's right.
Must be also another pleasure being able to play on the same team with the cousin.
That was kind of an off-balance shot by Marion Pack, but
that type of shot there, St. Joe shot a lot there in the first half, which probably got them into the deficit. I'm sure Coach Freeman wasn't very happy with that type of shot. St. Joe normally got got a couple of layups this half. They got a couple of open jump shots, but they really haven't forced anything. And I'm sure Coach Freeman isn't very happy with that type of shot.
That's right. There's a shot of Keith Freeman, and we're going to take another look at this foul. As both Pam Edwards and Lori Hissong takes a look at the official to see who was going to get the foul call on, and they were both bumping around underneath. Lori Hissong picks up her second foul, and Pam misses the first of a 1-and-1.
Both those are probably pretty surprised because they're in the first half. That foul wasn't called.
That's right.
Now they'll probably think, hey, what's he calling now?
St. Joe has continually looked to go inside. They really haven't been a threat from the outside, but Dawn Dressler tried to stop that move to the basket and caught her on the arm, and she's going to pick up a foul here.
Well, if St. Joe's going to be looking for the three-point shot, they'll be looking for Lori Hissong or Marion Pack. Marion Pack shooting 37% from the three-point range, and Lori Hissong shooting a whopping 44%. So if they're going to be shooting some threes, those are the girls that they really need to get the ball to.
That's right. Those are both players I mentioned just a little bit ago about being key players in their high schools, and we haven't seen very much from either player so far this evening.
No, you haven't. IPFW has done an excellent job of taking them out of their game.
And that first free throw was good. Mindy Metzger sinks both. And that gives St. Joe 39, IPFW 58. Still maintaining a good lead in this game. Pam Edwards decides to dribble the basketball as no one was open to dish it off to. And there she finds Dawn Dressler, who makes a beautiful move around the St. Joe Lady Puma, but unable to get that basketball to fall. And she's had some trouble tonight. She's had some nice shots, just not falling. And there's a three-point shot by Marion Pack, and one of the two players we just talked about. You don't want to give them that if they're going to get hot from that three-point line. And that kind of woke up the crowd a little bit over here. Don't want to let them back into the ball game. 10 minutes yet remaining in the first half.
We apologize for the brief technical problem that we've just had. I think everyone in the studio's got everything back online now, so we'll continue.
Hopefully you could hear us, though. At least you know what was going on. If not, it's 58-42, IPFW with 9:54 remaining.
Right now we're sitting behind the St. Joe crowd. In the first half, they were pretty quiet since IPFW was pretty much drubbing the St. Joe women's team. But the St. Joe girls have cut the 25-point halftime lead down to 16 now. So the crowd is going to start to come alive.
That's right. Michelle Conley nowhere to go. Dishes it back outside. Shriver looks to go in. Rucker battling at the post. Into Conley and turn around. Nice right before the buzzer. IPFW's had a couple buzzer beaters here. 30-second shot clock for women and men in Division I. And IPFW has taken most of that 30 seconds so far in this game.
Yeah, talk about buzzer beaters. I think the last three buzzer beaters that the IPFW Laydowns have had in the first half was taken by center Kim Rucker and center Michelle Conley. So it's really nice to have a couple of buckets like that you're really not looking for those girls to make. It's kind of nice to have them score like that.
There's some of the dribbling techniques I was talking about with Amy Perkins, and we got a traveling before the basket on Michelle Conley.
That was a really nice pass by Amy, and whether or not Michelle shuffled her feet, and for us to judge, but from up here it looked like a really good pass and nice move.
Michelle was a little shocked, so maybe we were right in saying that, but it's hard. It's a lot harder to stand on there on the floor than to sit up here and watch the basketball game. So we let them make the calls. We can disagree, though. Another three-point shot up, no good by Marion Pack. I'm sure they'd like to see a couple more fall from her, and she almost strips the ball from Amy Perkins. Amy picks it back up, though, and sets up IPFW's offense. Teresa Shriver finding a nice fake, nice move to the basket, just unable to get that ball to fall. Oh, and official too quick to get down the floor. Missed a nice couple steps there by the Lady Pumas. Another three-point shot by Lori Hissong. They're trying, obviously, to get one of those two girls into this game with their 3 points.
They really are. Down 18 with 8 minutes to go. The three-point shot is something that you've got to be looking at now.
And I think they're going to let them throw it up because at this point they've got to get back into it. And 3 points, three-point shot's going to get them there a lot quicker, and especially as the time continues to tick away. And Lindy Jones driving to the lane. She's going to get fouled, and I believe that's going to be on number Or they called on number 14, Mindy Metzger. Yeah, that's who they called it on. Lindy Jones, and that couldn't have been because Metzger just entered the lineup for St. Joe, and that was a bad mistake. He didn't even look. 14 wasn't out on the floor. Number 13, Mindy LaFoon, is who should have picked up that foul. But once again, that's what's called, and she receives it, and she'll get credited with the foul that she wasn't even in the game to come.
I wonder if Coach Freeman realized that. He's not arguing too much, but.
Lindy Jones sinks that one. So IPFW 62-42 goes back up to a 20-point lead. Led as much as 24 in the first half. So this is not their largest lead in the game, but they're able to maintain what they did do in the first half. Nice dish down to Michelle Conley, and this time she gets the roll in off the glass.
Yeah, Michelle went for the block and on that jump shot. So once the shot went up, she took off, and it was a nice feed from Amy Perkins.
Steal by Lindy Jones, coast to coast, and that's good. IPFW with a little run of their own.
That's what the Lady Dons really needs. St. Joe seemed to have taken the Lady Pumas out of, Lady Pumas have taken IPFW out of their second half game plan and, cut the lead to as low as 15 points. It's real nice that IPFW has come back, played hard, got a couple steals there. Tough rebound, got a couple easy baskets.
That's right, coming back into the ball game is number 13, Mindy LaFoon for St. Joe Pumas. And also number 22, Dawn Dressler. St. Joe continuing to press, trying to force IPFW to make some mistakes, and right now, like you were talking about earlier, they've pretty much played a flawless ball game, one of their better games so far that I've been able to see this year. And a traveling call on Dawn Dressler as she tried to move around St. Joe to get the ball on the inside. 66-42, 6:48 remaining here in the second half. IPFW pretty much in control of this game. And it's a nice thing to see on senior night.
Well, St. Joe right now really has to start looking to get some big-time points up on the board. They're down 24 points. Make that 22 points with 6:30 left to go. They need to start getting some big-time scoring.
That's right, Mindy LaFoon with a basket and a steal there from Amy Perkins, and a steal back by Lindy Jones the other way. We've got a running game. Dish off to Michelle Conley, no good. Lindy gets her own rebound and puts it in. Nice job by Lindy Jones. She saw the opportunity for Michelle, gave her the chance, and Michelle missed, and she got the rebound and decided to put it back up herself. 68-44 IPFW lead. And we got a push away from the ball, and the foul is on number 10, Michelle Conley. Once again, that's been that battling that's been going on under the boards the whole game. Pretty much of the second half, they've tried to shut that down as both teams are in the bonus, and we have a timeout on the floor. Girls ages 6 to 15 are invited to attend the IPFW Girls Basketball Camp on June 27th through the 30th here at the Hilliard Gates Sports Center. IPFW Women's Basketball Coach Eileen Kleinfelder, Assistant Coach Lisa Miller, and current IPFW players will conduct training that emphasizes shooting, footwork, passing, dribbling, rebounding, scrimmaging, and individual and team defense. For information on how to register, call 481-6643. Once again, that number is 481-6643, and I'm sure that'll be a real good camp for youngsters ages 6 to 15 to come out to and work on some of their skills, talk to some players like Lisa Miller and coaches like Eileen Kleinfelder who can help them out in their current play or their hopes in playing for some high school teams around the area.
Yeah, right now, Coach Kleinfelder is discussing with the girls that right now St. Joe's probably going to come out and look for some three-point shots. What the Lady Dons really need to do now is get out on the three-point line, let St. Joe shoot them, but have a hand in the face, and when if St. Joe misses, obviously secure the rebound.
Right after this game will be the men's game, and if you can stay tuned, that would be great. If not, try to tune in during halftime. They're going to be honoring Pam Edwards with her 1,000-point award, a career. And she definitely deserves that. That first basket was good. Free throw.
Pam's had an excellent career here at IPFW, obviously scoring over 1,000 points, second on the rebounding list. She's had a lot of hard work because of her injury that she had last year, which made her medical red shirt. But she's really done an excellent job here.
Amy Perkins bringing the ball down. It's pretty much IPFW's chance to advance with another win here if they continue to play as they are. And foul is Kim Recker. Puts that up and is fouled by, sorry, didn't catch that, number 13, and that's only her first foul. Once again, that should be her second foul. We won't talk about, though. That's pass play. She was. It's the first miss by Kim from the stripe so far this evening. That's not her general area of expertise. She's better from down in the post, but post players have to hit their free throws, and she missed both. Dish inside, number 33, no good. IPFW fumbling around for the rebound. We're going to get a jump shot, and that was Kathy Peters, unable to pull it down, or actually put it in, I should say, for the Lady Pumas, and IPFW will get the alternate possession. Once again, the press is on for the Lady Pumas, and they force the turnover this time, but turn back over to IPFW. I'm not sure who all got their hands on the ball there, but the ball went one way and back the other, and so IPFW still has it, and they're going to look to set up their offense and get something done. They only have 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Michelle Conley, though, gets that put in.
That was a really nice pass by Amy Perkins. So, nice little no-look. She saw that Michelle had the step on the inside there. Is a nice little pass, no-look pass.
She's definitely looking to keep her position on the career assist sheet or move up. I'm not sure how many points she needs, how many more assists she needs for that, but she's really had a few of them this evening as number 30, Diane Polson, scores for the Lady Pumas. And we got a reach-in foul, and I'm not sure if that was suggested by the coach or if that was just accidental. Number 13, Mindy LaFoon, she's going to pick up her second, and IPFW is going to go to the stripe. They're trying to slow the ball game down a little bit, 70 to 48. They've got to get something going real quick, like if they're going to get back in. I don't think so, though. IPFW's played very well here in the second half.
Number 12, Perkins at the line, shooting 1-1.
IPFW ladies only shooting 66% on the year from the free throw line. So St. Joe's going to option a foul, let IPFW beat them from the line.
And Amy hits that one.
But in turn, St. Joe must come down and must start doing some scoring. Being down 23 points right now with 4:25 left. There's not much hope there unless you get some three-pointers to fall.
That's right.
They should have been watching that Kentucky game about 3 or 4 weeks ago when they were down. Kentucky made that miraculous comeback.
Well, I'm sure they're going to look for those people. They're going to look for Marion Pack or Lori Hissong.
That's not what St. Joe really needs.
No. I believe that was a 5-second call.
The ball touched 4 different players' hands, and all 4 of them were open for the shot, but none of them really wanted to take it. St. Joe can't really get back into the game if they play basketball like that.
That's right. Need to put the ball up at this point in time. 4 minutes remaining. And IPFW is being pretty much relentless. They're going to continue and leave their seniors. And that's who you see out on the floor are the senior players. And they don't like the call there. St. Joe fans, but they are alive. They still exist. I'm sure they're hoping to see a better game from the men, the St. Joe men.
I'm sure they are. They're getting kind of tired of sitting down during this women's game. It's been about 20-point lead for IPFW most of the game, so they're getting a little bit restless.
Amy hits the first. 73-48. Like I said, 4 minutes remaining here. All seniors out on the floor, and I figured as much. Maybe at this point in time, with this much of a lead, you would normally see freshmen out there and your sophomores getting some playing time, but since this is senior night and their last night, that's who's going to be out there, so there's going to be a few more points for IPFW on the board before this one's through. Pam Edwards with the steal, throwing it down, no one to get it.
That was really a really nice move by Pam Edwards, throwing it to her side of the court. For you youngsters out there watching the game, when you are going to save the ball, you shouldn't try to save it underneath the other team's basket. That gives them the opportunity to a chance to score easily. Pam was hoping that maybe Amy Perkins would have been sprinting down there, and it would have been a nice little pass.
That's right. Amy or Lindy, she probably expected to be moving down the floor, but neither one were, and that's all right.
Yeah, it ended up being a turnover, but it was a kind of a smart turnover, shall we say.
And right there is a three-point basket by number 12, Stacy Shepard, and a steal and a missed shot, but we had a traveling call on Mindy LaFoon. And that's not one of the two we expected to see throw up the three-point, but it went in, and I'm sure St. Joe doesn't care who the three-point shot comes from as long as they get in. And if you get all your teammates down like they did there on defense, that left Amy Perkins wide open. She drives. The basket was no good. The foul was before the shot.
I think right now all the question is for IPFW is how long the seniors will be staying on the court. I'm sure Coach Kleinfer is going to wait for the right moment, so the 5 seniors which are on the court right now get a nice standing ovation.
That's right. I don't think we're going to see him come out here too soon, but I'm sure before the end of the game she'll have some wholesale substitutions and allow them to walk off with a great win for their final game. And there was another problem, St. Joe. No one wanted to touch the ball. The ball came out, and they finally did grab it. And that basket was put in by number 32, Tanya Popella. And almost a steal there, but IPFW is able to maintain control. Amy Perkins going to go for 2, and this time she gets it off the glass.
I think Amy understands a little bit this is the last collegiate game, and she's really never been much of a scorer, but I think I think all the seniors are looking to be some scorers right now.
That's right. There's another turnover forced by the 5 seniors out there on the floor, and here comes the wholesale substitutions that we talked about. 2:28 remaining, and what a game for them to win. 76-53 as they walk off the floor. They've done their share.
All 5 of them have had excellent careers there. Just listen to this standing ovation.
Eileen Kleinfelder hugging her senior players as they come off the floor, and parents standing and just general IPFW fans standing up and giving them an ovation as they finally get to take a break from this game.
Now you're looking at the future of IPFW Lady Dons basketball. All the youngsters out there now, these are the ladies that should be seen in the next 2 or 3 years.
Nice move inside. The basket was no good, and put-up attempt no good by IPFW, and St. Joe's going to move that ball down the floor quickly now. And I think we have a player grabbing a knee as she tried to drive. And that's Minnie LaFoon. She's only a sophomore.
She seems to have landed on her knee on the foul by.
She's in quite a bit of pain there, as you can see. We take a look, and we didn't quite get to see what happened. Try to get you some of the players in the game. Number 21, Barb Derry. We did see her earlier in the game. Also, number 30, Teresa Shriver. She's already been in for IPFW.
Into the game for St. Joseph, number 25.
Is it possible to do that?
And we have the coaches out there and a trainer, I'm sure, looking at that knee.
Okay, just checking.
Nice chance for Eileen to talk to some of her players, give them an idea what's going on. Dottie Porch, as you can see right there.
Yeah, you can see, it's a 23-point IPFW Lady Dons lead here with 2 minutes to go. The game is obviously over, but Coach Kleinfeld, she really hadn't quit coaching here. She wants to stay with these girls and still coach these girls out here now, so they, end the game on a strong note. And and it allows those girls to get used to a little bit why Coach Kleinfer, the way she coaches, some things that she expects in a game like this, and it gives those girls a really nice experience.
That's right, and they're going to carry her off the floor, not too much weight being put on that knee, and you don't like to see that happen to any player at all.
That's a really unfortunate situation for them, the game's out of reach here, and at this time of the game, you really don't want injuries coming about.
So in that instance, St. Joe's allowed to substitute a player, and that's who will shoot the free throws. And it will be number 25, Becky Hicklin, coming in to shoot the free throws. And doesn't get the roll on the first one, but they get the rebound. Up and no good. Dottie Porch had her hand on it, but it was knocked out last by Lady Pumas, so IPFW had the basketball. Good chance here for the freshmen and sophomores to see what a press is like. And IPFW not having too many problems bringing down the ball down the floor as Barb Derry takes control. And a shot up, no good, and Shriver with a good knowledge of not reaching over the back there and getting that foul. St. Joe brings the ball down quickly, and they're having no luck. There must be a rim on both ends of the basket. Teresa Shriver with the rebound, and we've got a foul on the play. Foul's on number 31, Erin Smith, and we take a look at that as she reaches around Teresa.
Got her hand caught in that cookie jar.
Yep, 76-53, 131. Teresa will be at the line shooting the bonus, as both teams are in the bonus situation and have been pretty much for the last 10 minutes of this game.
A lot of free throws.
Pack wanted to take the three-point shot, but saw an open player underneath. Unfortunately, they were unable to get the basket, and IPFW's Barb Derry with the basketball driving down the lane into a lot of traffic. Fights for the ball, though. Alternate possession, and it goes to the Lady Pumas.
At this time of the game, the referees really want to let the girls just finish out playing hard. They really don't want to call out a little picky stuff. Maybe she got hit and bumped a little bit, but the referees just want to let the girls play some basketball.
St. Joe fans standing up as Coach Keith Freeman pulls his seniors from this game, and he's going to give the opportunity to some of his freshmen to play, as they have a really young roster, and I'm sure that they will see a lot of playing time here in the next few games, ready to come back to help St. Joe out next year. Battle for the rebound, and it's going to be off the foot of IPFW's Dottie Porch. So the Lady Pumas will take the ball out of bounds. 45 seconds remaining here, 76-53. Nice rebound by IPFW, and I'm sure everybody would like a basket that's out on the floor. Teresa Shriver shoots, no good. And Dottie Porch comes up with the basketball, takes it up strong, and is fouled.
That's nice to see from your young players. Hustling, diving on the floor, getting after loose balls. That's real nice.
And you're going to show Lori Reinhardt there, dished it out, and Dottie Porch grabbed it, took it up for a shot, which puts her on the free throw line. She was fouled by number 25, Becky Hicklin.
Well, if you still can, we invite you to stay back for stay around a little bit later for the IPFW men's basketball game following the ladies' game. And at the halftime of the men's game will be a presentation to Pam Edwards for scoring her 1,000th point here at IPFW.
And we took a second look at that as Teresa Shriver's missed shot. Reinhardt got a hold of it, threw it out to Dottie Porch, and she put it up and made the second of her free throws. 77-53, just 25 seconds here. And nice rebound by Shriver. I'm sure the Fishes are going to let this one go. They've been calling tight fouls. They would have called that if it would have been a little bit earlier here in the second half.
I believe that you're going to hear that name, Shriver. I'm sure you're going to hear her a lot more here at IPFW. She's a nice basketball player. She hustles, she passes, she rebounds, she can shoot. She's going to be an integral part of the future of IPFW, along with Lindy Jones, along with Jenny Newhart, Wendy Recker. and the other ladies that you see out here on the court right now.
Tune in to Channel 6 Friday evening at 8 o'clock to see NCAA volleyball action as the 49ers from Long Beach State University meet the IPFW Volleydons. Catch all the action of IPFW volleyball right here on Channel 6. And, that's about into this game, 12 seconds, and that's one thing that's why these players are out there right now. This is a learning experience. You don't swat at the basketball, especially when you're behind the player. You're going to get called for the foul.
You always will get called.
And Tara Mazzillo picks up her second foul of the game in number 24.
If you're going to go for the block shot, you do not fully extend your arm. You just keep your arm up and just kind of bat it back at her a little bit.
That's right. Donna Bossing hits the first.
You might have to excuse some of my southern expression. I'm from Seymour, Indiana, so sometimes you may not understand some things I might say. I get mumbling and bumbling sometimes.
IPFW looking for a quick basket here. Only 5 seconds remaining, and a shot's going to have to be put up. And it is no good. Dottie Porch rebounds up, and it doesn't fall. And that's going to wrap it up here for this game. St. Joe is defeated by IPFW 77-55. I believe they're going to go ahead and call that foul. I don't think he realized the shot clock or the clock was about to expire, and he's looking for the number this time. Foul's going to be on number 31, Aaron Smith, and Dottie Porch is going to get a chance here to add another point or two to this score. And she sinks the first one, so kind of like icing on the cake or a cherry on top of the sundae is this game's won, and just add a little bit more to that. And she sinks them both, and that's nice to see out of a freshman from Richmond, Indiana, to come out at the end of the game there, hit both of those. And I tell you what, I'm going to leave you up here with John. I'm going to head down the floor for our Dandy Dons of the basketball game, and we'll be back with you right shortly. IPFW wins this one 70. I'm sorry, they took my score away off the scoreboard, so they won this game big time for the senior night, 79-55, and we'll be back after these messages.
How can you find out when lightning may strike? And how do you count the fish in the sea? How can you tell if a child is growing normally, if baseball is getting better, or traffic is getting worse? How do you know about stock market trends, the risk of cholesterol, the history of witchcraft, or the future of spacecraft? With statistics, that's how. And how can you find out about statistics? With the new Statistics series, Against All Odds.
Children are the largest group of Americans living below the poverty line. They have to reach higher for what others take for granted. Health care, balanced meals, encouragement to learn. But with help early on, children in your community can gain the skills to get out from below the poverty line. It takes programs like Success by Six and people like you to help them take the first step. Call to learn more. Change the world of a child, and you change the world.
There is a need in your own hometown. Please join your local chapter.
For over 2 millennia, Western society has generated a rich visual tradition of painting, sculpture, and architecture. What do these images mean? How can we understand them? Art of the Western world will take you on an exciting journey that will suggest answers to these and other questions. Beginning in ancient Greece and ending on the brink of the future, it will examine many of mankind's most enduring artistic achievements.
that new dummy cam is great.
Yeah, it'll sure give people a whole new outlook on what it's like when you don't wear a safety belt.
I think they'll get the picture.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Mental illness. We fear it. We laugh at it. We scorn it. We think it's shameful. But these are misunderstandings. Misunderstandings that will fade away if we see mental illness for what it really is. A medical disease. A disease that can be treated if you just know where to turn. For an informative booklet, call the American Mental Health Fund.
Excuse me, ma'am, can you help us?
I'm sorry,
Sir, please help our brother. Ma'am, we need some blood for our brother. Please.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Sir? Please, ma'am.
Oh, not now, baby.
Our brother really needs blood. Can you help us?
Imagine if you had to ask for blood to save the life of someone you love. Next time the American Red Cross asks, give blood, please.
A lot of my friends have already retired. But I wasn't ready for that. So I'm still teaching. This time in Belize, Central America. I decided to join the Peace Corps. I love my kids. And the way I figure it, I have the rest of my life to play cards.
Peace Corps, the toughest job you'll ever love.
My hero, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Costner, Mr. Wong.
These are teachers, but to the kids they've reached, they're heroes.
My hero, Mrs. Wooten. If I don't get through to that child, who knows, maybe no one else will.
Teachers have the power to wake up young minds, to be heroes, to make a difference. Reach for that power. Teach. Find out how by calling 1-800-45-TEACH.
This college cable access sports presentation is underwritten in part by a grant from Cable Access Incorporated of Fort Wayne, Indiana. We at IPFW are pleased to be able to bring you cablecast of NCAA athletic competition. We hope you've enjoyed the show and the excitement of intercollegiate sports from IPFW. To provide such programs, we need your support. With the help of many volunteers, we are able to produce these programs at a relatively low cost. Your contribution will help defray the production costs not covered by the Channel 6 budget. The College Cable Access Center invites you to invest in quality college programming by sending your contribution to the Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Please make your check out to the Indiana Purdue Foundation at Fort Wayne and designate it for College Cable Access Athletics. Now let's go down to the floor to Christy Walker with the Danny Dons players of the game.
Well, we have 5 Dandy Dons, and they're the 5 seniors that are wrapping up their career here on their home floor, the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. And Don, this had to be an emotional evening tonight, and what is it like to have such a good victory over a team like St. Joe?
It's really great. We went into overtime at their place, and to be up by 20 points the whole game, being our last game, really meant a lot.
Right. Offensively, Michelle, you guys came out like 24-point lead at the halftime. What was some of the offensive things you guys worked on to really gain that momentum?
Well, we really went over and over our offense, but the biggest key, I think 12 minutes into the game, we had only missed 2 shots, and when you shoot like that, I think we shot almost 70% in the first half, you're going to win the ball game.
That's right. Now coming on down, we're going to go to the next one. Kim Record. Kim, you've got number 9 on the scoring list and number 7 on rebounds. That had to help out a little bit tonight in your win over St. Joe.
Yeah, I was lucky that my shots were going in tonight, I guess. Everybody was pretty lucky. We were all making our shots, so that helps, I guess.
Does this kind of win feel really good?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun winning, too, so it was good.
All right, we're going to keep moving right on down the line to Amy Perkins. Amy, you did get a basket there. That's not one of your things that you normally see out of you. We see a lot of assists, and you're number 7 on IPFW's assist list. what do you do when you get out there on the floor? I mean, what are you looking for?
I'm just looking for the open person. I don't know.
Well, you're a good ball handler, and how does it feel to you to win a game like this against Ashland, especially since you went into overtime there at their place?
It was great. I was just we just wanted to go out with a good note, and we did. Have fun too.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. We're going to go down here. We have the big talker here, Pam Edwards. And Pam, you've had a good career here at IPFW. We've talked to you quite a bit as a Dandy Don. What's tonight like?
It's just great, you know. And for me, it's especially meaningful because I stayed healthy, and that was a big thing. And it was really nice. And, you know, we had an excellent effort from everyone, you know, my 4 other, you know, fellow seniors, and it was great. And I couldn't have asked for more.
A lot of emotional play out there offensively. I mean, there was nothing they could do to stop you tonight.
Yeah, you know, someone put down on the board that, you know, don't make it your last, make it your best. And I really wanted to go out on that note, and I wanted to be somewhat, you know, for everyone to remember, and especially for myself, and I think I did that.
I definitely think you did. I don't think we can say any more about that because I think that's what I saw out there on the floor tonight. That's 5 seniors here from IPFW. They were great players. As Pam's got a great fan club up there in the stand yelling at her. We're going to send this one back up to John to wrap it up. A nice victory here and IPFW 79-55 over St. Joe. Back to you, John.
Thank you, Christy. We'd like to take this time to thank Channel 6 volunteer crew and the Learning Resource Center at IPFW for their contributions to the live production of our basketball games this evening. The telecast of this IPFW sports event is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, retransmission, rebroadcast, or other use of this event without express written consent is strictly prohibited. Don't forget to tune in to Channel 6 Friday evening, March 25th at 8 o'clock to see the 49ers from Long Beach State University take on the IPFW Volleydons. For Christy Walker, this is John Honstrader. Goodbye for now, but we ask you to stay tuned for exciting men's basketball action as IPFW men's basketball team takes on St. Joseph Pumas.